Alien Crush is a 1988 video pinball game developed by Compile for the pcengine. NEC and Naxit Soft were the publishers. The original dropped in Japan first, and a TurboGrafx version landed a year later for North American audiences. Pinball is great, but I've always found the video game alternatives to be rather pointless. The heft, the feel, the sounds. A lot of what makes pinball, well, pinball, often gets lost in translation, and nothing I had played during this era came close to the real thing. That is, until I got my hands on Alien Crush. Simply put, this game is incredible. Crush is damn near perfect in every way. The ball physics are a little floaty, but it only helps the game play even better. It responds flawlessly to the paddles and many obstacles on the board. Everything is animated well, the table is super colorful, and there are a hefty amount of bonus rooms to offer up some variety. Clearly there's a heavy sci-fi horror theme going on here with obvious Giger-like nods to the first two Alien films. A lot of detail went into these environments as well as the many organic life forms that inhabit them. Almost everything on the table can be interacted with as you smack the ball around. Cocoons are stuffed with alien life forms, spider-like face huggers are triggered by smashing certain bits, and elongated skulls will occasionally gulp up your ball. Just to name a few. Everything seems to breathe, pulsate, and swell as you make progress by slapping your projectile around. I particularly enjoy the tendril-like animation of the ball launcher. Just great. To say the game feels awesome would be a huge understatement. One button operates the right paddles, while the D-pad controls the left side. The other TurboPad face button slightly jostles the table, which adds to the realism and can help out quite a bit when your ball gets snagged, or you want to change its trajectory. Before starting the game, there are a couple of options to consider. The ball speed can be set to fast or slow, and there's a choice between two music tracks. Lunar Eclipse is the hard rocker of the pair, while Demon's Undulate is the slower, more atmospheric number. There are a couple more tunes that accompany the bonus stages and intro sequence. Each and every piece of music on this soundtrack by Toshiaki Sakota is memorable. The score suits the fast-paced action well, but it's also good enough to listen to on its own. We've covered all of it across many episodes of our VGM 101 podcast, and it's great stuff all around. When it comes to ball speed, the slower option is, well, it's very slow, but it's a good way to acclimate yourself to the gameplay and the table's bonuses. This is where I've gotten my highest scores, but it does drag the game out a bit as a result. The faster ball feels much more natural as your projectile typically responds a lot better to the paddles and obstacles. I really like how the game plays differently depending on the ball speed. It takes some time to get used to both modes, so there's a reason to test each out. Alien Crush is a long game. While capturing footage for this video, I played for over 7 hours between the two speed options and still didn't finish it. The objective is to get 9s across the top, and this is much easier said than done. This is a game that I'll likely never complete, but that's not necessarily the point. At least, it isn't for me. A save feature or a password would have been a nice inclusion, but starting out fresh each time isn't too much of a bummer because pinball, like golf, is all about improving and beating your personal best. The game can be challenging, but it's never unfair. You'll always be playing the same environments, but there's enough here to keep you engaged for hours, and after nearly 4 decades, this thing hasn't aged a day. It's as fun to play now as ever, and my strategies just keep improving every time I pick it up. As I mentioned before, this is a pretty perfect game, but if I had one complaint, it would have to do with the way the screen snaps between the lower half and the top portion. It's jarring, and ruins the flow a bit. There's no scrolling between the sections, which is kinda lame if I'm being honest, and sometimes the ball can bounce between the two over and over again, which is headache-inducing. Besides that, I really have no other issues. Well, clearly I have issues, but when it comes to the game, I have no more complaints. Bonus stages are all very different and require some strategic thinking to complete. One involves a centipede-like alien with multiple body parts to destroy. Another pits you up against 3 slimers. There's a stage where you need to trigger tiny orbs of lights, and finally, a room filled with smaller baddies that bounce around quickly. This one is the toughest in my opinion because it's really hard to land hits on all these little skulls and red aliens, especially on the slower ball mode. All of them are a lot of fun though, and they are worth tackling over and over in order to get that sexy perfect score, which just pumps you full of points. If you lose in these stages, a ball isn't taken away, which is nice. It simply plops you out on the main table. There are opportunities to earn extra balls, which is handy, but you'll have to do very well in order to get that reward. Alien Crush is perfectly balanced. If you play strategically and are mindful of your actions, you can keep pushing forward. The game wants you to play it, and if you do well, you'll be locked in for hours. Alien Crush is a must-have for the PC Engine or TurboGrafx 16. The gameplay, visuals, and music are expertly crafted. It has been ported to many devices digitally as well as on the TurboGrafx Mini, so there really is no excuse not to give it a shot. The screen snapping can get a bit annoying, but that is such a minor gripe compared to all of the good things that this game delivers. 2 years later, Compile would return to the video pinball realm with a sequel, and next time on this channel, we'll be taking a look at that one, so stay tuned.